welcome to another episode of Bodega Dollz.
Bodega Dollz.
How you doing, my doll?
I'm good. I have my rosé.
Cheers to a new week.
New week.
Of trying times.
Girl, it's trying it.
Always and forever.
Tis a season. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing else to say. I think people still forget that we're in a pandemic, and it drives me nuts because I still see like dumb fucks like not wearing a mask and stuff. They only put it on to go into a store, which okay,
well, that's me. I do that.
Yeah. But there's I know I need to, like, it's fucking hot as balls in New York right now.
Well, because they say it's not as transmittable outdoors nowadays.
Yes.
So if I'm not in a large gathering,
right,
and if I'm just walking down the street, I don't wear my mask. Then if I'm walking through a crowd, I put my mask on.
Yes,
I do on and off masking.
Yeah, you know what? When it's really hot, I definitely scoot it down. But if I feel like it's a narrow street, I'll scoot it back up.
Yes, exactly.
Like the whole thing. It's just like
especially indoor. Anytime I go indoors, it's like I can almost hear the theme music of like some like Western.
Girl, I honestly feel like Mortal Kombat always. All I need is like 2 ninja stars.
Oh, ninja stars.
I'm triggered. Yeah, but totally, it's such a crazy time. I can't. It's nuts.
It's a crazy time. We are trying to figure out our unemployment situation.
Yeah,
we're trying to figure out
I can't.
What's next for us?
Yeah, seriously. As creatives, as people that need to eat, and paid bills, right?
They say
as
some people
humans,
are without the extra $600, they're gonna only have like $5 a week because right. It's like
because most of it's gonna go to rent and bills, phone bills. Like you're gonna leave with maybe having a bite, if that much.
It's weird because now only this week I've recently noticed a lot of the DJs because I'm in music and I'm connected to a lot of DJs and and they've all been expressing like, wow, I think I need to maybe think of another like occupation. Like I don't know what to do. Like
there's a lot of people think that way. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people, or even my own sister, is thinking that way. She's her hotel has not opened yet. Right. And she's a chef. And most restaurants are open. So like this is what she's done her whole entire life. Like
so she
went
can
to
work
school
in a restaurant or something. She can figure out how to work in another restaurant.
I don't know. Let's see, because not everyone I know is in the restaurant world is back in business yet.
Right.
A lot of my friends.
Very few.
At least like a decent amount of people that I know that are in the restaurant world have not gotten back into business, or they're not hiring everyone back yet.
Right, and they probably already have their regulars. Yeah, and they have a smaller staff.
Yeah, they cut the staff. They cut the staff dramatically because you don't have that space anymore. Yeah. Especially if you're having like a half a sidewalk. You know. I
mean, well, especially with DJs and club kids and promoter and all that
Zero.
Whole thing. That's like there are no options.
No. I guess we have to try something new.
Where's Ivanka? Where's Ivanka?
Yeah, she's like, try something new.
Okay, what are you giving options?
Yeah, am I going to be like a beekeeper? Like, what am I? Like, I've only been in the arts, so I don't think anyone.
That's what up through my entire career, the United States has never really respected the arts.
Not at all.
As far as like government support.
No.
In other countries in Europe, they like have money, they support, they like, they really like make sure that the arts are supported. Maybe even before single mothers.
I mean, no, but like I feel, I've heard Europeans say that a billion times over again. Like the Americans don't respect their artists, and it is fucking true. They don't.
You go tour in Europe and you're treated like a goddess. You come to New York and you
get a ham sandwich
and maybe a drink ticket, maybe 2, if that. If they're nice,
yeah. So yeah, it's really bullshit how the creative industry, it's just all around shit show. And honestly, not for nothing, I think I think I'd be really good at robbing people. I feel like that would be my next.
Find something new.
I'm fine if that's my new. Girl, everyone's leaving too. Don't get me started with that shit. I don't know how many U-Haul trucks of people leaving New York. I'm like, please go. So my rent can stay cute.
Which reminds me about there's an Instagram called Stooping NYC, which is people who are leaving their gorgeous furniture on stoops.
Nomi and I found banked so hard. This is just, we didn't even use that Instagram feed.
No,
this was us just walking down to go to Food Bazaar, and we saw this amazing. We'll put it on our Instagram.
Yeah, we're gonna post it here.
Yeah, it's this beautiful coffee table. It looks like something that was in like Beetlejuice, like that, you know, that sick house that
out of this world,
or
like a chunk of the moon.
Yeah, chunk of the moon, like a fucking fossil with glass. It was beautiful, and
we carried that shit. We carried it into a lift.
Yes, and then we warrior princess it into your apartment.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Yeah,
so New York is back. New York is back.
Girl, I found 2 vases, 2 frames, and batteries.
And violence is up by 20%.
Guess what? I did run home when I was there.
New York is back.
Girl, all we need is Koch to come out of his grave. Really. Girl, the Limelight's go reopening.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm curious to hear what our guest for today thinks about all these things. She is also a native New Yorker.
She's a native New Yorker.
Viva Ruiz. She is the creator of
Thank God for Abortion.
I mean, how...
It's genius.
Thank
God for abortion.
Phrase. Yeah, it's literally.
I mean, honestly, girl, I would have like a 15-year-old. We've never hung out ever again.
We would not be friends.
Would never.
No. You wouldn't live in Bushwick. You'd be living upstate.
Girl, I would have been dead of boredom.
So, you know, we got Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens in the house.
Girl.
This is going to be a tri-borough situation.
Trying it. Yep.
In these trying times.
During these trying
You need
times.
the tri-borough.
Oh my God. Situation. I'm so excited about people.
All right, let's see. I'm going to log on to our Zoom account.
Oh, Zoom.
And let's see. Viva, welcome to Bodega Dollz. You are our first interview. We've been trying to interview you since before our transition.
Before shit went down, we were trying to get you, and then all of a sudden we were on heavy lockdown, and we didn't know like what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, we were supposed to do like an in-person thing, but now
It was that week. It was the week of lockdown.
Yeah,
literally.
It was the week the shit went left fast.
Yeah.
So funny. Well, here we are. We're still keeping in touch. For those of you listening who are not aware, who are under a rock, Viva Ruiz is an artist and an activist.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's also an Ecuadorian native New Yorker.
Oh my God.
You're from Queens, right? Queens?
Yeah, Jamaica Queen.
Oh my God.
Right.
I love Jamaica Queens. Like, so much good food over there.
Girl, all native New Yorkers here.
Yes.
Latinas here. We have Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens in the house.
All right. We don't need Staten Island, do we? I'm just kidding.
I think we need like a what's it called? Like a committee to agree if Staten Island's allowed.
You know what? My girl Nati. Do you know Nati? You know Nati. She's Staten Island.
Yeah. Mela is also in Staten Island. I have cousins in Staten Island. You know, we got to support Staten Island.
It's part of the boroughs.
You're right.
It's our city. That's right, goddammit.
All right. And also, for those of you who don't know, Viva Ruiz is responsible for giving birth to, no pun intended, thank God for abortion.
Thank God.
Yeah, gracias a Dios por el aborto. So,
Libra. Sorry, we were watching the Walter Mercado documentary.
Did you watch that?
Oh, I grew up. I mean, he was life-changing, of course, to me. He was my first glimpse into a world that I knew I belonged to, but I didn't know about.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Right? I watched it, and then I watched it again with my mom. And it was like a full circle.
Oh my God, that's what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to go to my grandma with my laptop because they don't have Netflix, nothing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to go with my laptop and watch Mucho Mucho with my grandma and my mom.
So
it was a beautiful documentary, to be honest. It was amazing.
So incredible.
Well, so can you tell us how you first, how Thank God for Abortion was born?
Yes. Let me see. Conception.
Yeah,
I'm a virgin. Actually,
let's rewind. Sorry, a little bit before that. So, you're in New York, you're in Queens. And when did you get in touch with your like artist side? Like when did you know that you were a creative?
Yeah, I guess, let me see. The first thing is music, right? Culturally, we have music and dance. Before I ever thought I was an artist, it's just in the culture. It's just in the culture, the arts, but you don't call it the arts, right? Because you're having these big family gatherings with the best music and the best dancers, and everybody's like homeschooled about it. Nobody's like,
it's just implemented in your life. Like, you're just
so and I think dancing was the first thing I wanted to do, but I thought that wasn't dancing.
Girl. Yeah.
What, really?
Yeah. I've seen you.
We've seen you in multiple incarnations.
I've seen you.
I've seen you. I've been watching you.
I've seen you.
I've been watching you. And then photography, I thought was like magic. I couldn't explain photography, and that really got me. But I felt like the arts, like with quotes, was out of my reach. But I ended up becoming a stripper, thank God.
Yes.
And then I ended up dancing for a living for years and years.
Awesome.
And in
New York?
New York, at titty bars, and some nude.
Okay.
Yes, and also playing music at the same time. So all these things.
She was hustling.
I was like a punk rock.
Music,
exactly.
Photography, all of it.
Yes, drugs and alcohol, of course. And I love it all. Just making music and dancing, really. But I didn't even call myself an artist, really, because it was just what we did, And
right. It's like also survival is a part of it, and also just like it's part of the culture. It's a part of it. So you don't realize that it's actually something that's like until you put it into another, like, I guess, class. When class is put into it, you got to like make money off of your work. You're like, oh wait, I'm a fucking artist.
Right. Like we have a right to that language, or not even that. Like just like I'm an artist. We're artists, and there was like a barrier between me and owning that because I didn't do school really. I went to the school. My acting school was titty bars. My music school was like all the grimy bars and all the.
That's the real school. That's the real school, because we always talk about how like. Meeting people that are so well like educated, and we're like, but they're all lacking that like the real education that's necessary to be like to just be really
engaged
in society, which is like exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, now I feel like it's taken time, and I it's important for me to own those things for people like me that don't feel like they don't have a right to it if they didn't have that pipeline, institution like a school, like a gallery, like. I tell people, growing up in Jamaica, Queens, like I didn't know you could go to a gallery for free. You need to have people tell you what you can go into. Because I always felt like people were afraid I was going to, you're afraid of going in. You think you got to pay, or you're going to steal something. People think you're going to steal something.
1,000%. That's so true.
Is that do you think it's because of like the white walls, white wine, and white people?
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Because I feel like you're not invited to the party.
Right.
That you feel like you're stealing something. Like every time I see a cop, I always think I don't do drugs, but I feel like I have a gram of coke on me all of a sudden. But I know I don't. Like
totally.
I really feel like guilty for just being outside just because, it's weird.
It's already embedded in.
Like we don't belong. Yeah. Meanwhile, we could go in there and have the glass of wine.
Meanwhile,
and look
the artist
at shitty
showing
art.
is probably like a Latinx artist.
Meanwhile, all culture is based on, all culture is Black culture. All culture is, people that did it, music and dance, and, we're in there, but we're not allowed somehow. Right. So I like to talk about that just because I feel like I'm avenging the baby me, that was like, everything was like the first time I was in Tiffany's, I was like, I can't stay. It was, I can't be in this place. Like I went in there because it's on Fifth Avenue, and I was like, let me just walk in there. I was like, I got to get out of here. It just felt like I just had that. And I don't think it's an accident. I think that, when you're poor and when you're like a certain, when you're not that white person, I feel like there's more, there's difficulty in accessing a lot of spaces, and that's on purpose.
Yeah, we talked about that recently about how like children are like, just by the environment that children come up in, they like take these social cues naturally by just watching television or being in society. They suddenly start to teach themselves that, oh, I'm not allowed there, or that place is just for this type of person. Oh, it's like, it's without even like talking. It's just like they naturally are like realizing these social cues, and that's I think the basis of a lot that we're trying to like uncover in this season too. We're like, what's the basis of like, how did we get here from being born to like now? It's like, how are our brains mapped to like be afraid of going into
it's so crazy because like there's that weird like embedded insecurity or some shit like we're like we're not invited to the party or something,
because we really weren't, the party is, I mean, the party as default is the person's party. It's a cis white person's party. It's a cis hetero white person's party. And for us to be visible is disruption. I'm so here for Black Lives Matter uprising. Let it all burn down.
Yes.
And whatever.
Hello.
We're way overdue.
Don't be sensitive about this it's so funny when people are like, oh my God, they're being so violent. I'm like,
shut the fuck up.
We're burning shit down. We're going to burn it down until you hear our voices. It's like, and that's what you've done. That's what you've been doing too with Thank God for Abortion too. It's your own piece of like taking action in a really like,
I like making people uncomfortable. Yes. I don't know about you. And I feel like your cause makes people uncomfortable, which is amazing because it's facing this social bullshit of making someone uncomfortable for doing something, for being something, stigmatizing. So in that respect, I love that you've made people kind of feel
like
a type of way.
Yeah, I love that shit. That's punk rock, girl.
Yeah, that is punk.
Ava, you gave me the best compliment I ever heard around the project. And we were at the Spectrum and you said, girl, you make me want to have an abortion. I was like...
That was awesome.
That's genius.
And I meant it. You did some beautiful like curated thing and I was like, I'll do it tomorrow.
It's like, it's like one aspect. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean for it to be a thing that like it's growing, and it has grown. I started like 5 years ago and it was just like designs that I made because I'm Catholic too. And I have to own that today. Like I grew up super bloody Latin Catholic.
Oh my God, the guilt is real, right?
And also the pomp and the circumstance, which I kept because we like a ceremony.
Of course.
The aesthetic.
But yes, but also, there's, we see that the white right has hijacked everything and they're evangelical. Like that's the most powerful group in the United States are white supremacist evangelical monsters. And so it's like, that's the corner I can stand in that I'm Christian. I own that today. And I'm not just about a Jesus, but I do love, I've come back to Jesus and because it's useful.
Just drive by,
Well, because I remember you spoke about tools and utilizing tools to advocate and to activate. And so like, I love that, you're utilizing like religion, like you just said, like Jesus, like all this like imagery and even like merchandise, like with the t-shirts and stuff. And you've had so many iterations of like, tools to like spread your message. So like what,
I love it.
Tell us about like your tools and how important that is for you as an artist to like spread your message.
Oh, I love a tool. Yes. It is like, how can we facilitate? And this idea, the concept came around the first, I love the word iteration, around the first iteration of Black Lives Matter, around like 5 years ago when we were in the streets everywhere, jumping on cars and running around.
I love that shit.
Ferguson and, the first big explosion of that. And and the signs that people held are so important. Like the messaging of a movement is so important. And that
it's so powerful.
yeah, it's like here at a glance, and that influence, like I need something fast, like just fast, you know, we want to be effective.
That's the power of words. And so like that, I realized that I remember I went to Afropunk, and they had these banners that were like, you know, no racism, no fat phobia, no transphobia, no, and I automatically, I was, you know, I entered with my anxiety, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a festival. It's like, you know, and as soon as I saw that sign, I felt like, oh, my anxiety went away. And I felt like,
I'm comfortable. This is my crowd. These are my peeps.
And I realized the power of words.
Yes.
So that also reminds me of what you're doing. It's you're utilizing the power of words.
Mm-hmm. And you know, in the Bible, they say in the beginning that was the word.
Word.
And also witches. Like it's also like spell casting. Like you gotta say, like speak. It's like when they say speak it into existence. And so we wanted to hold. Oh, I say we. I'm a she they, and I'm more and more plural as Earth time passes. I feel like I'm more and more plural. All these, whoever's in here.
We're all on the spectrum. I feel like for sure.
100%.
We're on a part of a spectrum.
I've always thought that. I don't know if it's a Libra thing. Or what's your sign?
Gemini, of course.
Oh, Gemini rising. That's a rising word. Yes. Okay.
Gemini, Cancer rising, Moon in Aquarius.
Oh my God, I'm a Cancer rising. Shut up. Are you uber sensitive too? I can't.
Yes. I'm crying all the time. I'm crying every day. I'm crying every day.
Oh my God.
That's just how it is right now. But yeah, the tool, it's like, I think it's great to give people something easy to do, you know, because people do want to be a part of, want to participate, do want to activate. And sometimes, and I've had that experience of people giving me stuff, and like, now I have this thing that somebody made that I can use, and I'm happy to do that. And and that's my intention, is like, what tools can I make for people to jump in? And it's just my teeny, you know, it's just one aspect of a thing, but it's been very powerful to just focus here. And autonomy, which is across the board, the struggle, you know, for human rights is like, this is me. Right. It's me.
Yeah.
It's me. It's me. It's not you. It's me.
Right. And that reminds me of like I was reading that you linked this movement of like, you know, pro-abortion to like queerness and pride, and that's something that's important to you. And I wanted you to speak a little bit about that, like how those things intersect for you and how they support each other.
Yeah, so one of my greatest teachers and my mother is, I say is because she exists on every plane, but she passed from the earth plane about 9 years ago. Her name is Chloe Zabailo, trans woman activist. And she took me under her wing for many years and nurtured me and taught me about feminism. I learned about feminism from Chloe Zabailo, fierce trans woman. And she did a lot of activism in hospitals for sensitivity around gender. And she did it. She's such a hero to me because she did it. She didn't have an idea and go do it. She was sick and she had to be in the hospital and go through these terrible things and did stuff around. And like somehow even in that pain, she had a lot of body pain. She was a long-term AIDS survivor. Right. She managed to do all this amazing work to open doors, and everything that's been happening, the shifts over the last 9 years, I see my mother in there as a part of it, just strong, you know? So, you know, you have to shout out like, who taught you? Who taught you? And Chloe taught me. Trans people teach me every day, you know, every fucking day.
She really was a warrior.
Do you remember her? Do you know her?
I didn't know her personally. I just knew of her legacy.
Yeah. Anoni was very close with.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Anoni and I are her children, basically.
Yeah. I just know her of being always so strikingly gorgeous, and also of her also being very vocal and helpful in the community.
And that she really taught me, you know, you don't have to be XYZ. You don't have to, you know, she had a lot of physical, you know, stuff, and she was so effective. She was so effective working through things that I think people, you know, she didn't mean to be superhuman, but she was, and she had to be, and she made it, you know, she has a lasting impact.
Right.
And I'm inspired. I'm inspired by people like her. And I've been, we have a lot of teachers. I don't have to make anything up. Like, I'm just continuing what so many, and hoping to inspire, people after me or during, you know what I mean?
I believe you are. I truly believe you are.
1,000.
Ava.
Yeah, I think you're great. I think honestly, your words, I'm a big fan of everything that you do. I think that you're a warrior princess as well. And I think that, you did have a mother that was also had that same drive, and you're, I think you're just elevating to the 10th power, and like in the name of women, and in the name of paying tribute to someone who was, as boisterous as you were, and as caring. So I think it's great. I honestly, we're going to go deep into everything, because we're dealing with a lot of the stuff that's happening right now in the world, that they're literally, jeopardizing the movement of women's reproductive.
Oh yeah, they're coming for all.
Yeah, they're coming for our heart.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's what I think is also important. Like, because as like a trans woman, like that can't get pregnant, sometimes I question like whether I'm allowed to have a voice.
Of course,
situation, yes. And then I'm realizing that we're all fighting against the same powers, so it's all connected, even like racism, transphobia.
Oh my God, we're all
anti-abortion. It's like
we're in the same umbrella.
We need to all like realize that it's so important, I think, for all of us to realize that no matter from what angle we're being stigmatized or oppressed, like we need to figure out how to like come together about it.
Absolutely.
And be on the same page.
Yeah, like get together, because you know what? The right is very united. Yeah, that's the thing. The right is very united.
They have secretaries. They have
because they have no emotion. We have emotion, so we're like insanely passionate.
That's the fight. Always.
That's the thing about being so passionate about, like there's like the mechanical way of going about things, and
the sociopaths.
The sociopaths, exactly. It's 100% sociopaths,
versus
and there's
the
like
empaths.
And versus like people that are going out there willing to take a bullet, willing to like fucking fight hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's it gets more emotional than we expect. But it shit goes down, but I mean, we do cause a stir. I know you do.
What?
We all cause a little stir, and I know you do.
Yes,
too.
Causing a stir.
I'm sure. Do you ever face like backlash when you're wearing your T-shirt? Like, what's the worst thing that you've ever heard?
Oh, people want to kill me. Straight up,
love it. Love it.
You need thank God for abortion bulletproof vest.
Yeah,
that's what I'm making. I'm literally making that. Yes, I'm literally making that. I
love merch.
I got these riot shields, like real cop ones from like a cop store or whatever, like online. And I put the word abortion on it. So I have riot shields that say abortion. And when I was planning to do a tour in the South of abortion clinics and do a little church, like a travel, like I'm becoming more and more this kind of
we need to get you a van.
Yes. Which I'm fully into.
This is so good.
Yes, abortion van.
Well, and that's also
and I needed a bulletproof vest. I was like, it's going to be fashion and cute, but it's also going to be a bulletproof vest.
But it's a powerful, it's a beautiful image too, because like I think what I love about what you're doing with TGFA is that it's this amalgamation of abortion and religion. Mm-hmm. And I think that it like blatantly removes the stigma surrounding abortion right away. Yes. And, I think that's why people have this like really intense reaction to it, right away. And so I'm curious why you think there's so much stigma surrounding abortion that I think, religion sort of like, that stems from religion, like what, like what that seems to be what you're like combating, and that's like the guilt of your the tools you're utilizing right now too.
The church wasn't always like this, and it's in like modern history that it's become this this charge, and it's about money, it's about white supremacy, It's about power, it's not about life.
No,
it's anti-life.
Literally.
Yeah, because like I always find anyone who's like anti-abortion to be like so hypocritical. You know, like insanely. They're like for like they might be for death penalty, but wait a second. Wait.
And it's they're enforcing,
you know what I mean?
It's about enforcing cis hetero patriarchy. Yeah, it's about keeping rich white men in charge. And they're in the business of owning people. Mm-hmm. And this topic gets people really riled. They use the Bible as a trick, you know, because this isn't a real, I don't believe it to be a real belief. It's a power play.
100%.
You know, and I come from Catholic school and I'm standing with Jesus. I'm like, Jesus loves me. Who wants to throw a rock?
Hello.
The Bible says opposite, you know? So I just stand there and I'm like, God loves me. That's my message. And I'm at Pride years in a row because as I'm a queer person, I'm a fluid person. And, you know, every kind of person gets pregnant. Trans people get pregnant.
Yes.
You know, there are pregnant trans people out there. There are pregnant every kind, you know, there are pregnant men out there. There are pregnant all kinds of people. And and it helps the right that we stay splintered. Right. You know, it helps the right. And the thing is, like, autonomy, like my body is my body. And you you have no say over that. No, and
that's the bottom line.
That's it. And that statement can go through any struggle.
That's the thing that boggles my mind. Like, it's my goddamn body. I don't need some like white old dude telling me that I can't do shit.
Well, it's funny. I remember seeing that photo of like all the white like politicians deciding on abortion rights. And I was just like, how is this? Like, this is the most psychedelic like sci-fi thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're the same people deciding that, because as a trans person, also our debate is our bodies always. And
exactly.
Our conversations are our bodies, and it's constantly
it's
like
insane.
What are you allowed to do with your body? How are you allowed to identify based on your? It's like just.
And also on top of it, it's none of your motherfucking.
It's none of their business.
No,
it's none of your business.
No, it's none of their business.
That's my point. Like, it's no one's business. Like, whatever in the spectrum of the world, like, it's no one's business.
How are you going to police somebody else's body?
Hello, like that's my shit that I've always dealt with. Like, how do you you don't pay my bills. You sure as hell don't want to be in my shoes, but you have the right to say, like, you have a right to tell me the power to tell me what I'm going to do with my body. Now you hear
power. Yeah, they want to stay in power, and they'll use the Bible. And the sad thing is, as I'm sure you know, in our culture, a lot of people are the people that support Trump that are Latino support him because of abortion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Meanwhile, back at how many did he pay for?
Well, because those are their tools. You know, like we talk about tools, they use these things as tools as well. You know, we're using tools to like fight as well, but they also utilize their tools, and they're like using this concept. They use the Bible, they use religion.
They use machismo. You know,
that's a whole other show. You might have to come back for that one.
Yeah, I mean the machismo thing.
We're exhausted.
Like growing up, I call it a gender jail now. Like, I know that I grew up in a gender jail. Like you had to be this and do this, and they could do anything the fuck they want.
Oh, they're the king of the castle. King of the castle.
And sírvale. You bring them their food. Like, come the fuck on.
Like, yeah. But you know what's funny? Let's touch on that for a moment, because I also think that it's important to, like, I feel like men are so trapped in that too. Like, they're so trapped in the machismo that they don't even realize. And they're also feeling depressed and dark, and like, you know, they're trapped in this concept, just same as women are in a way, which is so strange, because they're the ones that sort of implement it, because they're taught to. It's like almost like an army has been built, and we're trying to like disarm them. You know, it's another jail that they're in. It's a different consequence, but also, I mean, it's not working. It's not working for them. It's not at all. And I think that's coming to the surface.
I honestly, I think it's just, it's sad because they have to put up this front, you know, they're doing emotional drag, for Christ's sakes.
Totally.
You know?
Oh my God, I love that. That's so true.
It's emotional drag.
Totally. So it's been amazing to work in this and confront my people, you know, like I thought I was going to be disowned from my family. My family is super Catholic.
Yeah, I'm so interested what your mom thinks. What does mama say about your...
Oh my God. In the beginning, they were like, she was like, they had eso. You know?
Oh my God.
And then she's like, do you have this in a medium?
I look better in white.
She's like, I would love a white with a black font.
With a black font. Thank you.
Oh my God. It's been so amazing to not evangelize them, you know, to let them be and be like, you know what, this is probably the end of my relationship. Everybody's on the media. They see what I'm doing. I'm not hiding. But you know what? A little at a time, they all were like, my family calls me Lalita. They were like, well, Lalita's like, this isn't about there. And they were just kind of talking amongst themselves. And ultimately, I had a friend who was like, send Madonna a shirt. And he was like, make it bedazzle. This is years ago. I don't know if she got it. But my mom, he sewed sequins on a shirt.
I love it.
Those moments are what we love.
That. Yeah. It's so cool.
And she really gets it. She's worried for me. She doesn't want me to get hurt. She knows that people are out of control around this.
Especially now, like everyone wants to prove some sort of point right now.
Well, these fascists are.
You know, I'm talking about like the anti assholes. You know, they want to like all of a sudden they're coming out of the woodwork because we have a leader that's like a dick. So like they feel comfortable about being a dick. So I feel like right now, yeah, of course, you know, mom is probably worried, but you know what? Her daughter's punk rock. What can I say?
I have a lot of angels that walk with me. That's the truth.
I sense that.
Yeah. I have a lot of angels.
I totally sense that.
And I have so much love. This is what I really feel like. I have so much love in my life and real relationships, like real friendships.
I love that.
And, you know, they'll write the nastiest things. And I'll be like, I'm good. Like,
that's where the power lies. Where it's like, you know, you're out there fighting for like the world, but then also you have your bubble of like security and of like spirituality,
and you have you have an army. You definitely have an army.
I do a lover's army.
Yeah,
a lover's army. Wait, is that Sade?
Oh my God! Yes, Soldier of Love. Soldier of Love.
Where is she? Where's she quarantining?
Where's Sade? How many abortions has she? Because she's had a
girl, you know, she's had fun.
Let me send her a sequin shirt.
Yes, she's
money. You might have to put hers in a chiffon. Something that a little breezy like with a wind.
Yes. She loves the wind.
Or a crop top. She loves a crop top.
Oh my God. So I think there's, you know, obviously there's so much stigma surrounding abortion, and like so many people are like sort of silenced, you know, in a way, like, you know, like, like women feel uncomfortable about even speaking about it and even like expressing their pro-abortion beliefs. Like, where do you think that stems from, and how can we get past people speaking about their, you know, telling their stories and being a part of the movement too?
Yeah, it's sad, you know. I didn't know I was in that closet. You know, there's so many kinds of closets you can be in. And when I started a few years ago, I was talking about, because this has been coming down for years and years, you know, that these evangelicals have been getting sneaky around closing clinics. And I was losing my mind. I was like, how is this not on the front page?
Yeah.
Because it causes so much hardship for poor women, for Black women, for women of color, for if you need an abortion and you're a Black woman, imagine needing an abortion, you're a Black trans person. You know what I mean? Like everything that is hard to access for a cis person, for a rich person, it's going to be a lot harder the further out you go to where people are kept in the margins. So I'm like losing my mind. And then I had these, I have to say, like friends around me in the left, people I knew that thought they were like, you know, cool or with it. They were like, kind of like taken aback by this language. And I was like, whoa, like even around me, people are like, and a lot of cis men, you know, were like, whoa.
Right, like, do I want to like hang out with you while you're wearing that shirt kind of
right, they're like, that's a lot. That's a lot though. Why are you happy about it? And I'm like, and P.S. I've had 2 abortions. That's part of the story, is that this is not conjecture. Like I've had 2 abortions. I said, thank God for abortion.
Thank
okay.
God.
Thank God. Because I didn't want to be making children, and fuck it.
I really, I'm right there with you. I had one, but I would have two if, like I told you, I would have another.
She's working on the second.
I'm working on a second abortion as we speak.
You're visualizing the second one on your vision board.
Yeah. No, but honestly, if it wasn't like I thank God for abortion, and that's why I think I gravitated towards your movement, because I was, when you're in your 20s, you think you're fucking Tupperware, and you don't think you're gonna get pregnant, and then you do, and you're like, oh shit, and it happened. It was the best thing that I ever did, clearly. And I was with a person that I'm no longer with anymore. And, it was just like circumstantial. Like, it's like, that's my little story. And there's so many bigger stories, that, and if women didn't have that choice, God damn, we would be in such a terrible, terrible, even darker place if there wasn't the option for abortion. And it's insane. It's insane. That's not
a small thing that's your story. That's a big thing. You would have a fucking human.
That I wasn't even crazy. Like, I don't like
alone, what I mean?
And that was never like, I've never been that bitch that like thought about the fucking gates, like the white pearly gates and was that heaven? Whatever. Like a house. Picket fence. Yeah. Where's that house? Right. Yeah, the house with a gate.
I love you, like, equated, like, dying with having a white picket fence.
Yeah, exactly. But I never pictured that whole world. Like I never thought, about that lifestyle,
like, love, marriage, baby carriage.
No, that's never been my tea at all. And
so many women are pressured to that life too. And that's the thing. Like,
or women that are given ultimatums for that life, or they feel like they're like, oh, well, you know what? Time's a ticking. Like, it's just bullshit that we still conform to that life. Yeah.
It's a full indoctrination, and it's not an accident. It's there to keep the people in power in power.
Yeah.
It's definitely not there for the liberation of femme people. No, that idea. No. And I grew up thinking I was going to have those things. Like when I was a baby, they give you babies to play with, or whatever.
Totally. That's what I always thought. That's so weird when I see babies in the shoe with little baby carrot. I'm like, this is weird as fuck. Like,
it's crazy.
Gender training, like, and then and then they get the fucking weapons. Like that isn't
right.
And it's none of it is.
No, we get the dolls and the dudes get the fucking guns. And I because I was a tomboy and I was like, I want to play with the guns. I want to play with the fucking dolls. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's just
warped.
It's completely warped.
Well, hopefully all that's shifting. I feel there is a shift. I feel there is a shift. Because of the work you've done. A lot of people out there are doing work, and I feel that there's something shifting. Do you feel?
Yes.
Do you think
absolutely? Absolutely. I read something, I think it's a book. It's the book called A Bridge Called Our Backs. I think that's the title of it. And it's women of color in the 80s, Black women and women of color in the 80s wrote this book as a response to white feminism, because they were like, where are we? It's different. And I think it was Cherry Morega who said, if you're an activist, you must be an optimist somewhere. Like somewhere in you, if you're working for social change, somewhere in you must believe that's possible. And that really, I went like, I never thought of me as an activist because I'm so bitter. I'm so bitter. and revenge minded.
Girl.
I'm like revenge obsessed. But
me too. I love a hold a grudge.
Kill Bill.
Girl, if I could exchange my leg for my leg for a machine gun, like like Rose McGowan, I would.
Oh, that was really good. I really related to that character. I was like,
ooh.
I was the saddest
with stripper. Kick, I could get all this down.
But I think it is shifting, and it is, I think of this. Sylvia Rivera said we have to be visible. And Sylvia Rivera is one of my goals. I never met her, but I feel like she was friends with Chloe, and we happen to be growing up around all these legends and in the shadow of these legends with these legacies.
And that's a New Yorker thing too. That's a New York, that's New York Latina.
Yeah.
New York veins.
Yeah. Yes. And it is that not everybody has the job to be visible, because not everybody has the safety that I have. I don't have as much safety as the X person, but I have more safety than this person.
Right.
And it's my job, you know, to just go out there and be loud, you know, and encourage, make a safe place. The more of us speak up, the safer we all are, you know.
It's true, yeah. The less stigmatized people feel.
And we are together, I think, making this big shift in all different places. And that's why they're mad. You know what I mean?
They can hate all they want.
Let me tell you something. I love pissing off people.
It's a tool.
I have a feeling.
We talk about a tool.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you've been such a pleasure.
You've been amazing. I want to ask you one last question before you leave us. And I want to hang out with you and have like
yeah, we need I think we need to sit down.
We need another.
We need a lady sit down.
Because we got to talk about music.
Yeah,
and we got to talk about dancing, everything. First of all, Nomi, you know I was your fan on MySpace. I wrote you fan letters.
MySpace.
I wrote Nomi fan letters.
The fucking tea.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
Like literally, I was like,
that's so cute. I miss MySpace. Didn't you miss MySpace?
God.
That was
I feel like, is that the name of it? Yeah, it was so long. But I was like, but I saw you and I wrote you.
Oh my God, thank you.
Been a fan.
I've always felt mad love. As soon as I met you, right away, I was like, the energy was like
beautiful energy.
Like vibrating constantly.
Let me put my whole last name here so you can see the Ruizes are up. Hold up.
Oh, the Ruizes.
Oh, hello. Screenshot that.
Exactly. Let me
Oh my God. We have a law firm. Ruiz and Ruiz. And sisters.
And sisters. Yes.
Well, I wanted to ask you, like, you know, now I feel like we're obviously in these trying times. Like we like to say these trying times.
During these trying times.
They really are.
You know, we're all sort of discovering new ways to interact with society and with our, you know, we've created like sort of communities before this that we've have our way of interacting with, like, and I feel like now during COVID, we've all been trying to reinvestigate how to communicate with our society and with our communities. And I'm wondering how you have sort of reactivated or how your movement has shifted during these times, these trying times. The
movement in particular, I feel like I also just started calling it a movement because I'm like, I'm just doing this wild thing out here.
Oh, it's a movement, girl.
Honey, it's been a movement since you started.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. I think that you've been doing great work. Go on. Answer the question.
So in general, like community-wise, it's had to be virtual. I've really taken to the virtual thing because we got to stay connected no matter what. Totally. You know, I'm lost without my friends. I'm lost without my community.
100%.
And, you know, and this COVID thing was so bullshit. My mom got sick, like really sick. And it took me out of, she's better now, but it was really touch and go. And it really took me out of the game, the way I'm used to being in the game, you know, of all this stuff. So it's been hard because capitalism is like, you got to make output every day. You got to produce. And I just, the movement work I was doing was taking care of my mom, which is also movement work.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to shift my mindset to like, okay, this is also work. This is work, the work of taking care of the elders and family. And it was nice to see that the project is kind of rolling. Like it has a momentum and it's not just me anymore. It's so many people who are like speaking out and like reaching out. And so that has been nice to feel like I don't have to be like a CEO at this. Like it's a different system, you know, that we're doing. We're doing community. And so I'm discovering what that can be now. Like everybody else, we're making it up.
Right.
I feel like I'm more back at like, I have more energy now. I'm back in my house and I'm excited to make some new stuff with.
I'm excited. We're excited.
Find new tools.
Yes.
If you ever need an intern, you can call me.
Oh my
goodness. Available. We're in Bushwick.
Yes.
Girl.
I will. If you have a screen printer, I will steam it on a t-shirt, whatever you need. God.
No, I'm quick. I would just have you sit down and be gorgeous while I folded shirts.
I could do that too.
Oh my God, I just had an idea. an idea. So, you know, I do my Jessica 6 shirts with the big 6.
Ooh.
We should do a collabo. Like, thank God for abortion, Jessica 6 t-shirt.
Yes, I love it.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call your agent. We're gonna work it out.
We're making phone calls. Those
are my cats, probably. Yes.
Well, thank you for giving so many people that have felt silence.
Yes.
The ability to have their voice, because I think
and not having the shame too.
Yeah.
Just being proud of decisions. And that's a big thing, to be proud and own your decisions. Because it took me a long time to get that way, to get there, and you're encouraging people to be happy and content with their decisions.
Thank you. Yeah, I really want people. It makes me angry that people don't feel blessed because of these like assholes, and they have really hijacked people's divinity, or like. I just want people to know that we're blessed. If you're being you, you're blessed.
Right.
You're being you. What can I do to support? Like, how can I? Who you need me to beat up? You know what I mean? Like, what?
I would love to punch somebody in the face.
We are blessed.
Yeah.
But that's where religion comes into play too, because there's a lot of people, especially in where it connects with queerness too. Like a lot of people in the queer community, they feel like, how do I remain religious when I feel like this system's against me? You know, like how do I maintain my beliefs when I feel like I'm believing in something that I, you know, from the outside world seems like is doesn't accept me.
Right.
So I think it's great to have to spread the message that you are accepted within your divinity, and you are, you know, a child of God, and you can be whoever you want to be.
That's right, God.
Within that.
I know it's not important to everybody, the God thing, and I respect that. I totally feel that, or any kind of God. I feel like these like evangel, you know, these white supremacists, like God people, need to be spoken at and stepped up to.
And it's so hypocritical in the end.
It's disgusting.
I don't know what you did last time, because I'm sure that's how you pay for someone's abortion.
Always.
There's an abortion budget at the White House.
Hello.
Literally. And you know, I feel like that's an important movement work, that we love each other and we support who we really are. Yes. And there can be so much in the way for some of us.
Yes.
And that's it. You know, what can we do for each other? Because also we want to party. We want to dance. Let's dance.
We want to, at the end of the day, we just all want to have a good time.
Dance.
You know, I want to do a bump in the bathroom and dance a reggaeton somewhere.
I just want to miss those days. 10 minutes.
Wait a second. I made an anthem.
Really?
I made a reggaeton anthem for Thank God for Abortion. It's called Thank God for Abortion. And
wait, where can we find this song?
Yeah, where can we find it? Promote something, girl.
We're finishing the video. So as soon as I finish it, I'm gonna send it to you.
Oh my God,
please do. We'll put it up on our Instagram.
Utilizing the tool.
Yes.
Oh, first of all, I'm obsessed with cocaína. First of all.
Dirty.
Oh my God.
Yes, honey. That's right.
I'm obsessed. So anyway.
One leg up.
A fan club.
Thank you. I always feel your energy, girl. I always thank you.
I live for you, Nomi. I live for you. Whatever you need, I'm here.
Well, ditto, girl. If you need me to press anything, you let us know.
I was ready to.
I'm ready to be your little intern. I'm cute too. I'm very sufficient.
Well, everyone listening, go to thankgodforabortion.com. Copy yourself a t-shirt or 2 or 3 or 4. Support the movement. Rock it and be your, as you said once, be your one-person abortion parade.
Yes!
Oh my God. You know what? I hate inviting people to my party, which is perfect.
Just walking down the block.
I'm just walking down the block with my t-shirt. I'm going to purchase one myself.
Yes.
I'm going to wear it for Thanksgiving.
That's exactly the best place. You want a conversation starter?
We'll be bringing our cameras there.
I have a perfect blazer.
Break the ice.
Oh my God. Well, thanks, Viva.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You're wonderful. Thank you.
The 2 Ruizes, I can't get over it.
Ruiz and sisters. Thank you. You're going to bail me out of jail.
and that's why they're mad.
You're gonna bail me out of.
Like, subscribe, and tune into the Bodega Dollz podcast on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher.